today. From Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers.
They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week.
Lance now on first down.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away.
And that will be incomplete.
Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Here's second and 10. And Lance now to throw.
Open man is Samuel, complete.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Lance going to try and throw on third down here.
Flush to his right.
But nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job seeing he got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On second down, it's Mitchell. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, it's Mitchell. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 39, Lance steps away. And Lance will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And Lance again going to keep it. Open space inside the 10. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Trey Lance with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's off to a fantastic start to the season. Already 8 touchdown passes in just his first 2 weeks of the year. Now, I don't think that's a pace he's going to be able to sustain, but at the very least, he's got this offense humming here to start things out.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Lance. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. The Lance going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
That's taken on the 25. A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives, exactly.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
Not sure much more could have been done there defensively. Went up with him, tried to knock it away, tried to get an arm in, unsuccessfully.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Pretty effective opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the touchdown run earlier, and if he pops more of these 10 to 20-yard carries, could be a long game.
Yeah, those types of explosive runs wear down a defense. I think they need to add more people to the box, closer to the line of scrimmage, force them to throw the football, and see if they can slow them down that way.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On second down, Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Gaskin.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown.
Myles Gaskin
With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped off by a Myles Gaskin touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A gain of 6 there on first.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks running with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they give this time to the tailback. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Myles Gaskin and the rest of the Dolphin offense ready to get back to work here. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. He'll let this go deep for Rugg. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs, 83 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Lance. That's complete out left to Ayuk. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. To throw, it's Lance. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And now that brings up fourth down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big play there for Miami. I don't think the coverage was the problem. The coverage was pretty good.
The coverage was excellent, but what quarterbacks love to do, if they see the head of the defender away from the line of scrimmage, like if they see the back of his helmet, they throw the football to the receiver with the understanding he'll make a play on the ball a little bit quicker than the defensive back can recover.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A play fake for Gasket. Now Tua. He's got it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Chewo Olanalua. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. On
first down. Lance will get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Lance. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to, but a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, would have been 4th down.
Exactly.
2 and now on first down. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Now an option play on second down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego. But how about what we're seeing right here? You're talking about 541 catches at the tight end position. You talk about lofty territory, rare air. He has a lot to be proud of.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they...
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Miami. Both players had a shot at getting the football there. It just seemed like he wanted it more.
And able to react a little bit quicker because he understood what the route was. He understood the timing of when the quarterback might throw the football. The defensive backs often a half second behind.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. This is Gaskin on the carry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want. And that
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Throwing after the interception. Lance.
They'll run the screen with Mitchell.
No gain on the screen there. It's second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing again on second down. Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Rams who have the lead in the second quarter. The Florida State product, Cam Akers, with a touchdown run. From there, let's get to Detroit to check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, over 100 yards receiving, and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Anthony Schwartz, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
57's the mic, Mark 57.
They'll run it with Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Check 31. Check 31. Check.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
But they always talk about playing great team defense. And that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Rip left, rip left. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Here we go, D.
Now a first carry for their fullback. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
'49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Here's Gaskin. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A give to the fullback on the dive. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
I don't think you got it, son. Check 37. Check 37. He's coming. We got jump.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Hey, let's get this. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53. What's the curl?
They'll run now with Gaskin. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
53. Mike, 53. I know he ain't got it.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Give. This is their fullback. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll roll him out right. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. 44 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So they'll decline the penalty there and go ahead and keep the yards lost on that last play. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing now is Lance. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the ground, this is Williams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, dude.
A handoff as they run the counter play. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run. Defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Switch it, come on, switch it. Check right. Take the edge.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 63 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Side field. Hey, side routes. Check 3, check 3. Kill.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And that's why that position was created. Big, powerful, strong guy who can carry the ball and plow forward. That's exactly why you have him on the field.
Check 53 is mine. Man out. Check 13.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
57 the mark. Check.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. 7 yards, the pickup there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Derek Brown breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language. Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start. Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go. Flushed out right. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it. But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
They're running it. Lights 57. 57's mine. Yellow.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. CD, 4th quarter, you're still above 3 minutes remaining, but right now running the football is a pretty good idea to work that clock, right? It certainly is, because your team is strong right now, and you can feel the defense fading a little bit. Their goal, continue to run it this effectively, called victory formation as the clock winds down, and end the ball game and move on to the next opponent.
Here we go. Black, 95. Blue there. Yellow, Lonnie. Spons. No.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 84 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check, 53, slide. Here we go, here we go.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Tua on 4th down. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
How about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Silver. Hey, what's that? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Stop your whining. Check. 36.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 49. And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.